Like, if you do the math, it's cheaper. You don't find anything that has utilities included that isn't really pricey. But some people, I don't know, maybe they don't know how to save energy and they run up enormous electricity bills, and then, I don't know, or people are bad with math. They notice the highest month on electricity. It might be higher for a particular month, but one of these people is on SSI, so I can understand they have like they have a fixed income. They do a little work, but you're still allowed to keep like $2,000 in your bank account, so that should be enough to average out, like if the utilities are $60 higher one month in the heat of the summer, or if it's only electricity, if heat's included, and water and gas and garbage, then it shouldn't be, you know, even if it was like 100 and something, it still averages out to less money in the long run. Some people suck with financial planning, unfortunately. They not have this? Why can't I hear it? Oh, because it's just... Hold on. Did I accidentally mute this? Testing. Give me a sec, guys. Alright, let's go. And I don't know. Part of the problem is this stupid air conditioner. Even when I set the setting off, it takes a while to recognize, oh, you don't want me to run. I'll stop running. It's bloody electronics. I only really need it certain points in the day. Like in the middle of the day when it's its hottest, and yeah, I can tolerate a little discomfort the rest of the time to save energy and save the planet. At night when I'm trying to sleep, I don't tolerate being hot. I'm a cold sleeper. If it's too hot, I'll just toss and turn and not be able to sleep. Partly though because of insomnia, which is made worse by long COVID. So same with family. I also had a window air conditioner. I would usually only turn it on in the last part of the day. And I mean, that might be why some people are used to utilities being so expensive, because they run ACs all the time. It's like, no, just set it to a high temperature so that only if the thermostat is good, so only run at certain points, or only turn it on at certain points of the day. You don't need it running 24/7. It's way too much electricity. Alright. Anyhow.
System survey concluded.
Oh, I can hear that. Visor system? Visor? I don't know. Something. It's been fully surveyed. Now it's the Torville. This should actually stop about here, so that's more efficient than it looks like. Because of science ship braking, it's not instantaneous. Would have looked too janky if something flew at full speed to a planet that instantly stopped, even though in the matter of how long it would take to do a braking burn, it would probably only take a couple hours, so less than a day in this game, unless, well, unless you're using like low-powered ion thrusters, in which case it would take weeks to get up to speed in some cases, and weeks to get, you know, down. But if it's any kind of chemical or high-powered plasma dynamic thruster, whatever. It may sound like a bunch of nonsense to you, though plasma and ion thrusters are two of the thrust types in this game. Of course, if you actually had ion thrusters in a combat ship, it wouldn't be able to dodge nothing, ever. Because ion thrusters have very, very low thrust. What they have is high fuel efficiency, and to get anywhere close to high thrust, you need insane amounts of power. Plasma thrusters are usually less fuel efficient than ion thrusters, like dramatically less so, but still way more in chemical, and so they're in that middle ground where you can get decent thrust. If you throw like a nuclear reactor's worth of power into it, you might get decent thrust. and still respectable fuel efficiency. Something like the Vasimer engine in real life. There's some plasma thrusters are still very low powered and high fuel efficiency, but they can be operated in lower fuel efficiency modes for higher thrust. Basically, the higher your fuel efficiency, the lower your thrust is the way it works with. Yeah, I'll do a Kerbal Space Program. Let's play at some point and you'll see a little more about these things. Since I've lost access to the saves or my other computer, or I'm not staying anymore, let's have to start a new game, and then I'll probably do with KSP Interstellar. Install, but I have a whole mod package I usually use, so it'll take me a little while to go and hunt those all down. It's not like some pre-made one, a custom from experience learning which mods I like to use and which don't. A lot of mod packages have way too many mods. Worthless, like, people love their graphic shit. It's like, no, I don't need. You can't really. Some of the graphic stuff you can't even tell is running, and the stuff that you can is so incredibly CPU and graphics card intensive because people who make these aren't professional programmers by any means. They don't have the expertise to make resource efficient graphics improvements. I mean, there's value to having experts do the things they're best at. Specialization economy, I'm not against that. Always been someone who's very minded for how to do things more efficiently. Ernst Klein did not. Oh, I just finished this mummified pilot. Like, was he just sitting there doing nothing? No, he wasn't. Alright, time to travel through Empire Spores. There's another electric storm there. Interesting. I can't see most of the map, so it has to. Actually, this might be outside of Inland borders. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not a fan of like the Myers-Briggs. I think it's a lot of nonsense mostly, but there are some personal features that it shows hints of. It's not entirely. It's not mathematically based. Is the problem with that test. That's why I like the Big Five personality test is much better because it's actually based on mathematics, on statistical clustering of certain answers to certain questions, and then instead of starting with certain personality facets in mind, you start with a bunch of questions that, you know, a researcher thinks might be relevant to personality, but without any particular goals in mind. Gives people like 200 questions and uses statistical clustering methods to find out which ones tend to correlate. And then based on the clusters, comes up with names for them based on what they appear to be. So you get openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism in the Big Five, which have statistical validity and actually meet the criteria a good test for something should, such as specificity, sensitivity, repeatability, all these kind of things. Specificity and sensitivity is if you have a specific thing you already know exists, like a disease. So sorry, that's actually, I'm thinking medical tests there for a second, but you know, accuracy can't be known if you don't even know what you're measuring. But yeah, repeatability, inter-test variance should not be high. You shouldn't get different results if you do the same test over and over. But like if you give people the Myers-Briggs different weeks even, you'll get different results because it's not a real test. But it does tend to show it's probably more accurate for certain personalities than others. Some probably actually correlate with real clusters of traits and others don't. I do know when I took it, I said I tend to like to optimize things. I'm like, yes, that's correct. ENTP, ENTJ. But there's the thing, 2 letters, because it can't even decide which of those I am. Do you remember for class trying to find historic figures that had your personality? It's like there's a name for people who tend to get one of those or the other, and it's like whoever had that personality type. Napoleon Bonaparte, apparently, and a couple other famous generals. I'm like, okay, whatever. I think it's a load of bullshit either way, even though I was very good at anything from strategy games to chess before my long COVID. I was never going to make a career like the military, even though I was an ROTC for a while. I might have done 4 years if I hadn't got medically disqualified. Anyone knows. Alright. This kind of ridiculous attention detail I'm doing here may seem annoying when you're watching me. But if you actually had a battlefield, you'd want a general who looks at every little detail. That, at least, is true. I read biographies, autobiographies, people who served in World War II and such, and they talk about the generals they really respected, had great attention to detail to actually, like, wait, I sent the robots to sent them into it's in wrong ocean world. I still get distracted with my long COVID. I don't have the attention to detail I used to. Guess at this point they can work as technicians. Robots don't contribute to pop growth. So I should want more robots and less biological pops. I don't know. It was a mistake. Anyways, you know, leaving no stone unturned, no detail ignored. One of them talked about like a particular general would make sure to do artillery bombardments to always soften up enemies before having ground troops assault, because he valued not just his men's lives, but the fear they would face before attacking. Even if the artillery bombardment didn't always work that well, it would generally calm the nerves of the soldiers attacking to know it happened, and generally it would make it a little easier for the men. Like, damage fortifications, so even if they didn't suffer more fewer losses, it'd be less stressful attacking, less intimidating than facing untouched bunkers and such. This was in the Pacific theater, where it was a little bit difficult to actually land artillery on islands before. But the general who actually did that, who took the effort to make sure that always was done, had the respect of his men. How is it that if I reduce pull some farmers? Yeah, it's fine. I probably have a little too much food surplus. Should go right into an energy grid with this many technicians are in place.
System survey concluded.
Unusual readings suggest there may be more of this desert world than meets the eye. Tomorrow. Yeah. That is way too loud. I don't like the toys trivia. Yeah, but when I say artillery on islands, I mean obviously like battleships would often bombard on a toxic world. Really? That's where there's a tomb world thing. Toxic world as a terraforming cannon. Where's my... Here we go, my Scar Renata Ramirez. Should be one to investigate. Research there, so quickly get north. This guy here. Yeah, so I'm talking about actually like landing like light and medium artillery on an island, especially some of the bigger ones like with Okinawa, but to provide more direct artillery support than like big warships, which tended to be a lot less inaccurate and a lot less accurate even if they had more firepower. Although sometimes smaller ships could get really close to shore, like destroyers, to provide something closer to light artillery support. Troops in World War II were often trained to fight alongside like light artillery pieces in the field. Sometimes the generals, out of interest in their own careers, would rush attacks before the light artillery was in place, which actually usually would result in higher casualties, but not always. Statistics weren't real good on whether it cost lives or not, and it did lead to faster victories, but it certainly was scary for the men. They at least thought they would die in greater numbers in such a case if they were attacking without their light artillery. Because like a machine gun nest could really be very difficult to deal with if you didn't have any artillery. The Japanese dug in really well in the Pacific War. Part why the U.S. bypassed as many islands as it could and just cut them off from resupplies, because these troops on the islands were so dug in it was hard to displace them. Of course, the islands acted as airfields and such, so there was an advantage to taking them out. It just usually suffer a lot of casualties from the ground assaults. Boom, no more amenities shortage. The cost of just 1.2 energy. Going from a many shortage, which is basically 22% happiness for just one building. It's not bad. And extra pop growth. Less from low pops then. And one more enforcer, I guess. Yeah, make it 2. Just so the crime doesn't end up going over 10%, which can cause issues. Eventually, when the enforcer numbers get high enough, it may do anti-crime campaigns. Generally worthwhile if you can keep the crime under control. Unless you have a ridiculous number of pops on the planet, the crime ordeal can make more sense. Or you have a lot of really high base value pop jobs, like the night jobs here. It's a combination of that and the fact I could not keep crime under control. It was impossible. At least previously, before I got this guy who was a celebrity. Now I could keep it under control. No, with civil exclusion. Yeah, I could get it down to like 5 crime. But it's only because of this guy. Without him, I'd be stuck in like the 15 range or something. It's a civil exclusion agenda that probably forced that. The number of criminal jobs that are actually being filled makes it profitable, for sure, though. Alright. Let's resettle. Make sure it's the right ocean world this time. Vitsin. Not a synth. First contact event pending. Pi aliens. We made first contact with mysterious aliens in the X941 Singularity System. Where? Oh, these are probably scavengers. I bet dollars, donuts. Those are the scavenger empire. I'm gonna have to assign an envoy to that, I guess. So much for improving relations right away. Let me just redo this and do the neighboring system. Oh wait, didn't pause that while I set that all up. Whoops, and to pause. Alright, well I did the pristine jewel there, which is a spiritualist fallen empire world. Cool. I haven't seen any Shitoids eating ships. I'm starting to think other empires have taken care of all the ones that are around. Of course, does that mean that I won't be able to capture any? Quite likely. So screw up there. I'm not gonna fix it at least not right now. Maybe I'll forget to. And it's not the end of the world, I guess. Ew. Maybe at any point I'll get. Soon I'll suddenly find a scientist getting eaten. Be reminded that no, Shitoids are around and very much a problem. Alright, cool. Only 56 criminal jobs filled. Good. Probably should be more. Spexman report this is a bug and I'll get fixed. Meanwhile, no one ever reports things that actually are annoying. Some people prefer to report stuff that makes, oh, the game code too easy. They're like freaking masochists, those guys. Always reporting things to make game quote easier and never things to make it harder. like the authoritarian faction not being happy because of pre-sapience. As an example of one such makes the game harder. Wrong. Shoot. Some minerals yet again. Got any minerals? Not much, but I actually only need a tiny number. Maybe food to trade to another empire. Actually, that'll work fine. There's some goods for good measure. Boom. Where was the... Oh. Here. Scientist has leveled up. Pacifist, so he might end up as a leader at some point. I think that's why I gave him charismatic. Charismatic too. It's actually pretty good for a counselor. Might become the head of research someday. Oh! What the heck? Miscollecting cancelled? Ah! Grr! I didn't notice I did that. Never. Spilt milk. Actually, just survey all this stuff. Sweet, sweet anomalies. Sudden disappearance. That's a colony event chain. Hopefully. Not. Let's swap that to research here. Let's see, we're not mind available scientist. Maybe here. I don't actually want to go too fast now that my envoys are all busy. Oh, this should be the guy. Well, not him. The one who leveled up, the charismatic. There's actually stuff to do here. A bit of a race. I don't know. Trying to make up for accidentally canceling that scientist surveying. That's noxious. That happened. Sometimes I wish we could give you a confirm order button or something. There we go. Minerals. The labor and everything is 100 and... Let's see. 125 plus... This doesn't make sense. 115. Count 40 plus the automated 125. Let me just see something here. Oh no, it's 75 automated, that's why. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this bear will pay for itself. Rotate production yard. First. Generate district here for more automated jobs, and since mining jobs are less sensitive to... It's actually farmers, this should be the second thing. Don't have any farm subsidies in place, so... Should actually prioritize the farmer jobs, not the technician. Most climate sensitive job. The capital where it matters the least. I'm doing miners because it's a mining planet. Owned by farmers because it's an older colony. these enable those, disable. I don't have to do this. Ignore this, it just makes the interface messier. So when there are multiple different specialist jobs, it makes sense. Cool. Minute of time, or 80 something minutes. I'm gonna cut this a second. Maybe I'll do another video, but keep it shorter than usual. For you folks, I feel like these maybe these videos have gone a little too long. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. If you prefer longer, shorter videos. Keep telling people to leave comments. I know some of the videos have done that. I haven't posted yet, but some have, and people just don't respond. Maybe I don't have enough viewers who are watching. Some people just like to work. Dude needs to give me more viewers. Really, it does. Just tries to crush new channels so that it limits number of YouTubers. Of course, that leads to things like lower levels of audience engagement, because smaller channels, people can actually reply to comments. Try doing that if you have like 10,000 comments, not gonna happen. So maybe they want people not be able to reply, since there's this whole industry of filling the comment section with frickin' paid troll nonsense. So I'd be surprised if Google actually has found a way to profit off that. Do stranded scientists second. Just waiting because it'll hurt XP gain from stuff like anomalies here. I have till 19th after all. Weapon testing. Cool. So you think it's complete before then? Nope. Alright, stranded scientist. This is probably the last thing in this video. The wreckage in the asteroid L49 AT remains of a vessel belonging to a now stranded scientist. Jesslor, identifying herself as belonging to the hitherto unknown Triax species. From amidst the wreckage, she somehow managed to contact Renata Ramirez, the science officer stationed aboard the Ibn Battuta, is requesting to be rescued. Sorry, I'm mincing my words too much, so She explains that her collision was due to malfunctioning navigational sensors and that she has been unable to leave the asteroid for several years. She claims her scientific knowledge to be without equal and that she'd be a valuable asset. She points to her survival as proof of that. You do this, which can make the scientist paranoid or adaptable. Of course, that's only if Ramirez were actually a counselor, which is unlikely. But just our level 6 scientist joins the Stellarian Royal Planet States must share technological knowledge. Yes, please. Extra technological knowledge. First, now I'm even. It's not a long-lived species or anything. I hope it's not a freaking heck slow learner species. You got to be kidding me. Terrible luck there. Trek are apparently slow learners. That sucks. Luck of the draw, and the luck was not my side. But expertise computing could make this scientist in charge of and a pacifist, so she could become the head of research. Right now, actually. I think that increases my chance of trying computing stuff next, and it definitely... Ooh, and Spark of Genius. Something my current head of research certainly doesn't have. And Eye for Talent. And I'll make the pacifist happier. Cool. Yeah, she's definitely becoming my new head of research then. I'll gain quite a bit of research speed from her, thanks to Spark of Genius. And if I do a computing thing next, which is on Material Labs, if nothing else. Yeah, be even faster than normal. And the pacifist should be happier, although it'll take a second to update, but represent the council as opposed to not. 25% happier. Hasn't updated this. I'll give you guys a day, I guess, to see. Though, oh yeah, I could put her in charge of a science ship. Let's do that too. You know, if the science ship goes nowhere, she'll gain XP faster that way. Probably don't want her as a planet governor to better level because she doesn't have useful traits for that. They all have architectural interests, these scientists. Survey speed plus 10% per level. So this is all like 2. She texts faster and Squine. At least. She must have a veteran trait, right? Oh, a statistician. It'll help her as a counselor even more. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm gonna replace her and Squine with her. She's a tiny bit faster surveying. She's 3 levels higher, even though she's not a roamer. Klein levels up. He's not gonna. I mean, he'll still gain passive XP. This guy I probably want to level up. It's not that long to get from 2 to 3. So I'll still gain a little passive XP in terms of science ship at the range, but How long will it take him to get here? 375 days. Now some to excavate the archaeological site. It's got someone better for the role. I don't need elsewhere. This guy, but I'd rather have him actually leveling up faster with surveys. No, that's dumb. Actually really dumb because shouldn't slow down my science ship. I do want to survey a decent pace here. Okay, here we go. I'll do 1 day so you guys can see the pacifists be happy now. Yay. Might want to promote them now. Let's see. 38, 6, 12, 45. 35, 5, 19, 41. Now it draws almost nothing from the militarists. Don't leave them alone. Someday this guy might become a Minister of State or something just to make the militarists happier. Alright, I hope you folks enjoyed this video. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. May you always find a guiding star to lead you home. Till next time, this Northstar, I do. And best luck to you all.